This video is recorded as part of the data visualization group project. The objective of the project was to identify an area of interest and answer certain basic questions around that. The subject which caught our eye was crime against women in India, and the questions which we are trying to answer by studying this topic are: we want to identify the top 10 states of India where these crimes are most prevalent. We want to deep dive into these states and see that what type of crimes are happening and how the trend of these crimes have been over the past 10 years. We also wanted to look at this particular subject from the perspective of how the disposal of such crimes are happening. When we say disposal, we want to see that how the police investigation and court trial processes are, and if there are any anomalies around that. We also wanted to correlate these anomalies with the poverty and literacy of the Indian states. So let's jump onto the dashboards now. The first dashboard over here is a summarized view of the crime against women in India. On my left hand side is the Indian map, which is colored in the gradients of red. The darker the color would mean the more the number of crimes against women in India per lakh population of that particular state. So we can see that states like Assam, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan are leading the way. The state of Telangana is being kept blank because the data is being picked up for the year 2012 when the state was not formed, and hence we couldn't get any numbers around there. These states can be further analyzed on the basis of the types of crimes which are happening and the trend of these crimes. So for example, if I want to study the state of Assam, I can see that cruelty by husband is the crime which leads the way over here, followed by kidnapping, abduction, assault and rape. And most of these are having an upward trend. Similar analysis can be done for other states or the states of users' interest. People can also do an analysis on the basis of the type of crime by clicking on each of these bars. So for example, if rape is the area of interest and this is the crime which I want to study, I can click on it and see that these type of crimes are happening mostly in the state of Tripura, Mizoram and Assam, followed by some central Indian states. Now analyzing these crimes from the perspective of how their disposals are happening, let's move on to the second dashboard for that. The second dashboard is divided into two parts: the police investigations and the court trials. The first chart in each of these processes is the distribution of these investigations on the basis of the statuses during the process. So for example, in the police investigation process, the status could be case being falsified on the basis of misrepresentation of fact, charge sheet being filed, investigation being refused, etc. Now, in the police investigation process, the status which caught our eye and we felt was an anomaly was where the investigations are refused. Raised an eyebrow that why something like this would happen. Why somebody would refuse an investigation? When we tried correlating it with the states and their poverties and literacy, we realized that most of these investigations are getting refused in the state of Assam, which is very high on poverty, which brings us to kind of a conclusion that it could be because of the matters of money where these investigations are getting refused. A similar analysis can be done for another status, that is case being falsified on the basis of misrepresentation of fact. When we try and analyze this further, we see that most of these cases are coming from the states which are very low on literacy, probably suggesting that people are not able to understand the facts well, filing the cases, and these cases ultimately getting falsified by police saying that the facts were not in place. We can do similar investigations on the court trial statuses also and can gain intuitive insights. We have also given the user the power to select the state of their interest. For now, we have pre-selected top 10 states which we identified from the first dashboard. The user can also select the type of crime which he or she is interested in studying. and can gain insights out of the dashboard which we have created. That's mostly it from our side. We hope you like the presentation. Thanks a lot.